Let's begin with the continuing drama in the state of Tamil Nadu. Even after E Palaniswamy won the vote of confidence last Saturday, the principal opposition, DMK, led by MK Stalin, is in no mood to accept that verdict and move on. On Wednesday, the party sat on a day-long hunger strike all over Tamil Nadu to protest against what it called undemocratic and unconstitutional manner in which the trust vote was conducted. In its social media page, the party had invited the common man to join the hunger strike as well. DMK has now approached the courts to annul the vote of confidence. However, the ruling party does not think too much of this.
Only in such a context, the rules do not provide for secret ballot. They only provide for division. And it also helps in a democratic society because the voters who elected their representatives will be able to know how their representatives have conducted themselves in the legislatures. There is transparency. Secret ballot in the legislature will result to corrupt practices and also defections.
மக்கள் பிரதிநிதித்துவ சட்டத்தின்படி ஒரு வாக்காளர் ஒரு சட்டமன்ற உறுப்பினரை தேர்வு செய்வதற்காக அந்த வேட்பாளரால் வாகனத்தில் அழைத்து வரப்பட்டால் அது அழைத்து வரப்பட்டதாக கண்டுபிடிக்கப்பட்டால் அந்த தேர்தலே செல்லாது என்று சொல்லப்படுகின்ற பொழுது ஒரு முதலமைச்சரை தேர்வு செய்வதற்காக ஏறக்குறைய 120 சட்டமன்ற உறுப்பினர்கள் 30க்கும் மேற்பட்ட வாகனத்தில் கார்களில் அவர்களை அழைத்து வந்து சட்டமன்ற விடுதிக்குள் அனுப்பியிருக்கிறார்கள். இந்த ஒரு காரணத்தின் அடிப்படையிலேயே இந்த நியமனம் இந்த தேர்வு செல்லாது என்று அறிவிக்க வேண்டும் என்று எங்கள் தரப்பில் வாதிட்டோம்.
All right, to talk more about the developing situation in Tamil Nadu politics, on the show tonight with me are A Sarvanan. He is a DMK spokesperson. He joins me over the phone line from Chennai, and Mr. R.K. Radhakrishnan, associate editor for the Frontline. Thank you both of you for joining me this evening. My question to you, Mr. Sarvanan, first is, what exactly are the DMK's objections here?
The objections are two-pronged. The first objection is that the Assembly Speaker has introduced the resolution twice, the confidence moving the resolution twice in the Assembly, which is barred by the legislative rules. And apart from that, we are also stating that the Speaker ought not to have evicted the members illegally, and the eviction is also illegal. So without the members, the vote had gone on. So these are the two objections we have raised to what the Speaker had done, and we are claiming that this is illegal on these two scores. Apart from that, we are also raising various other issues, but these two are the main thrusts.
Okay. Mr. Radhakrishnan, do you think that the DMK there have a strong case against TPS?
Absolutely not. Everything was done within the ambit of law. Constitutionally, there is nothing wrong in anything that happened. The DMK members inside the assembly indulged in violence. The speaker was left without a choice. The speaker was assaulted inside the assembly. We have visuals of that. The entire footage has been asked for by the Madras High Court. We have seen two members of DMK, Kuka Selvam and B. Ranganathan, sitting in the speaker's chair and ridiculing and making a mockery of the entire house. How can they even claim to, ask for anything in the Madras High Court? I do not understand the logic behind the DMK going to the High Court. I am extremely sure that the High Court will give a reply that is well within line with the outrage that civil society has expressed after the DMK's violence.
Right. Mr. Sarvanan, everybody saw it on TV. The visuals are playing out right now. It's all evident, what happened. So what is it really that the DMK is looking at right now?
See, what had happened inside the assembly. So these are unfortunate incidents, but we also should look at what prompted those incidents. We wanted to protest against, the immoral decisions taken by the speaker, disallowing secret ballots. That is one other aspect. Of course, our leader, Mr. MK Stalin, was on record taking responsibility for what had happened and assured the people of Tamil Nadu that it will never be repeated. Unofficial reports claim that those MLAs were also chided. See, this is one aspect of the issue. And such an eminent journalist like Mr. Radhakrishnan making absurd claims, like, tying up what the DMK did with the illegality committed. See, of course, there is an unsavory incident that happened inside the assembly. That doesn't clothe the actions of the speaker with legality. That is the whole point. And such a senior journalist comparing these two is really making
But
me
Mr.
wonder.
Radhakrishnan sir is only saying that there is a way to do things. If there were objections, things could have been taken up in a different manner. Mr. Radhakrishnan, would you like to comment?
Yeah, absolutely, yes. See, the thing is that the DMK knew that they were going to lose the confidence vote, and hence the DMK engineered the violence. The DMK made sure that members were thrown out. Yes, there are procedural wrangles here and there. One is the motion was introduced a second time, and you had IPS officers in the garb of watch and ward throwing these people out. And I believe IPS service conduct rules do not allow you to wear any other uniform barring the khaki, and unless you are in an intelligence setup or any other such duty situation. All these are details. The point is, when the House convened and the Speaker called for a division, pressed for a division, Stalin and the others kept pushing for a secret ballot. Now, there is no provision for a secret ballot. Supreme Court monitored a couple of secret ballots, yes, but then that was on the direction of the Supreme Court. Otherwise, there is no way that the secret ballot can be held. I am not confusing the two issues. The DMK engineered the violence inside the House. It went out of control, and they had to be thrown out. You've seen the visuals yourselves. And it is not just a visual of some 15 or 20 seconds. It's the entire House proceeding are recorded with 8 cameras. It's available right now across television channels, and it will be also made available to the Honorable High Court. And we will see what comes out of that. I reserve my judgment. Yes, Saravanan is free to say anything that he wants, but let us see what the Madras High Court judges have to say on this.
Mr. Saravanan, let me also come in at this point. The DMK, has constantly harped on shifting the date of the floor test. Why say such a thing when the numbers really appear to have been settled? It was all out there for people to know how much support did the APS camp have and how much support did the Open Selvam camp have. So, why call for a delay?
See, the issue here, what everybody is trying to overlook or conceal the point is that the MLAs were held in captivity. That is death knell to democracy. You saw the the interviews or the soundbites given by person. The representative of People's Act clearly says you can't take a voter by a vehicle to a polling booth for the general election. But this is an election which is seeking the confidence of the sensitive election, and you are herded from at gunpoint from to the resort. From there, you are coming here, and I don't know, these such eminent journalists, they forsake neutrality. They are not condemning this. The bigger point, the threat to the constitution and the threat to democracy is the captivity of these MLAs. The vote is influenced. We should look at that aspect more importantly than this, minor disturbances. Yes, of course, that's what I'm saying. Nobody is denying the fact that certain unsavory incidents that happen inside the assembly. But that doesn't cloak, that doesn't give legitimacy to what has happened inside the assembly.
Okay, that
I would request Mr.
Okay, Mr. Saravanan, also, I'd like to bring in one more point here. Ever since the floor test has taken place, there's word that, the DMK is looking at the instability within the AIDMK, and thereby it's trying to take advantage of it. And now the word is that DMK is, pushing for bringing down the AIDMK regime by pushing for a fresh assembly election.
See, we are a political party, and we definitely want to capitalize on the weakness of the opponent. We are not running a charity shop to be nice to the DMK, ADMK people. Of course, that is one aspect. The other aspect is that this government has lost all moral credibility, and the people of Tamil Nadu are seething with anger against this government. They detest this government. We have reports coming of MLAs, being questioned, being chastised for what they did. If we are not here to voice the opinion of the people, who else will do that? And DMK, which has always taken a strident opposition to the ADMK party, will naturally try to exploit this. We want to do good to the people of Tamil Nadu. That's what we will do.
Mr. Radhakrishnan, do you think the DMK is going the right way to achieve its objectives? Any other options that possibly would be best suited to their interest rather than adopting these ways that it is adopting right now?
No, absolutely not. See, there are two different issues here, and let's not confuse these. Saravanan is very well aware as to how many times I have condemned what has happened, the incarceration of the so-called incarceration of MLAs and the fact that they were held and all that. I mean, I've been across television condemning what has happened. But let us not confuse that with the legality of this whole process. We have a constitution, and the interpreter, the sole interpreter of the constitution, happens to be a body called the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, in an interpretation of 163(1) in 2006, has very clearly laid that, it does not matter how the MLAs are brought. As long as the numbers are there, it doesn't matter. The governor is not the arbiter of this, and we cannot give that kind of power to either the governor or the president. It is very clear. It is, the manner in which the MLAs are brought or how the vote was taken, this is not part of the remit of the governor or the president. See, confusing that with people coming for a vote and exercising free and fair franchise and a secret ballot, all this will appeal to the people. But constitutionally, the Indian Constitution has been written in such a way that all these things do not matter at this point of time. So let us be very clear on what we want. We want to go by the Constitution, or today, because the DMK says, today the Constitution is not convenient, let us look at some other option. Yes, this is not a government which the people accept, the people of Tamil Nadu accept. That is all there. You go to the streets, you take the fight to the streets. That's where it should start. Even that the DMK is not willing to do. They did one hunger strike in Tiruchi, and it's not like the entire state came to a halt. And across the state, it is supposed to have held hunger strike. There is no support even for the DMK in the state to pull down the government or so that the DMK can come to power. So let's not kid ourselves. The people's will is one thing. The constitutionality of this whole process is another thing. Let us not mix up the both.
All right. Mr. Saravanan, very quickly, you would like to respond to what Mr. Radhakrishnan said. Yeah, please.
What the judgment referred by Mr. Radhakrishnan, as usual, as again, in his inimitable style, trying to confuse everyone. See, those judgments speak about the role of the governor. In the court, we are not questioning the role of the governor. We are questioning the actions of the speaker. So let Mr. Radhakrishnan get it right. He has, a personal dislike for our leader, Mr. MK Stalin. So probably that is what is clouding his judgment. So we will leave it at that. But we are going to the streets. We are reaching out to the people, and we are getting unprecedented support from the people. So I request, such a senior journalist to, keep aside his personal dislike and give views to enlighten the people of Tamil Nadu. That's what we expect from such eminent journalists like Mr. Radhakrishnan.
Well, Mr. Saravanan, you of course voicing the concerns and the stand that your party has taken for now. But let's see what the Madras High Court says as far as your plea to them is concerned. We'll end it at that. Thanks so much, Mr. Radhakrishnan and Mr. Saravanan, for joining us there on this story with your inputs.